y'all, and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I'm here in Ponytown to talk about Ponytown Records. Now there's no real official Ponytown record book, but I want to change that starting today with this video. This video is going to be me basically talking about some ideas for different Ponytown records and everything like that, and basically I want to kind of show off some ideas for Ponytown records, and eventually we get a whole catalog of different records that people can attempt to break and things like that, and then maybe we can like some kind of official, unofficial type Ponytown Records book thing, and we can do that starting here. And basically, if you guys have any ideas for Ponytown Records that I don't mention in this video, then let me know in the comments below. I'll add it to my list of things, and maybe we could eventually turn this into a series where we do a whole thing where like someone claims they can break one of the records, and then we go to them, meet up with them and everything like that in Ponytown, and see if they can actually break the record, and maybe award them some sort of like digital type trophy or something like that. I think it would be a really nice little thing to do, and I think it overall just be really fun if nothing else. So this first record here is blowing out the most torches before the first torch comes back on. Now you can blow out these torches using any sort of method that you see fit yourself, but basically as we all know, if you boop a torch or blow out a torch, it will eventually come back on. The idea and premise of this record here specifically is that you would have to go out and try and blow out as many torches before this first torch comes back on. As you saw it just come back on. So let's go ahead and try that record right now. So we blow this torch out, we run over here, and then we gotta go, and we gotta blow out this torch, and then this torch. Okay, I literally got one that time, but other times you can get like 4 or 5. It really depends, because the torch, as some of you may know, is based on a random timer. It just randomly decides to come back on. There's been cases where like I've had like a full 30 seconds without it coming back on, allowing me to get several torches out. So have fun with this record, and if you think you can beat it, let me know in the comments below. And if you did beat it and just want to show off and lie or whatever else, you can do that too. I don't care. So this next one is the longest synchronized boop war. So as we all know, there's a thing in Ponytown that you can do called a booping. That's right, you can boop each other. You can boop like people like this or something like that. And the premise of this one is essentially you have to get someone. You can have your friend, you can get a random, doesn't matter. And basically you have to boop, and you have to boop at the exact same time to where you're basically high-fiving or hoof bumping, whatever you want to call it. And basically that would be the premise of it. Whoever can, do the most synchronized boops in a row will be the winner of this record and the record holder for this record. It's very simple and very basic, but it is good nonetheless. I think it'd be really interesting to see if anyone can get like a huge like 130 streak or something like that of just synchronized booping and stuff like that. Also, that's a really nice character they just switched to. So this next one would be more of a test of knowledge on the Ponytown map, and this idea is simply one single trip across the map. You're going to start somewhere on this dock or perhaps the other dock. I don't know why this Hand in Philly is randomly sneezing on me. Just ignore that. But anyway, the idea of this one essentially is you're going to have this boat right here. You're going to teleport. It teleports you across the map here. I'll go ahead and show you. It teleports you all the way over here. You can start here if you want to, or you can start on the other one. And the premise is you will start on one of them. I'm going to choose this one to start on. And you have to... as soon as you step on it, the timer will start, and you have to start running towards the other boat. You have to run back to the other boat. Once you step onto the other boat, the timer stops, and the person with the fastest time, in this case, will be the record holder. It's a very simple one, but it will test your map knowledge a little bit, and there would be like a separate category for like winged characters. So like obviously Skellebones doesn't have wings, so she would fall into the wingless category. But if you had wings or something like that, you could do that as your thing, and potentially get the highest record for wingless pony across the map sort of thing, or maybe you get the highest record if you have wings or something. But basically it's just a race. Once you get here and you step on this and teleport back here, the timer stops. I imagine you would have like two hosts or something like that, maybe one to wait at these docks and the other one to wait at the other docks. That way they can kind of test that you're not doing any kind of fishy thing there or anything. We're just breezing right through these. Let's go ahead and move on to the fourth one. This one is something else that I also can't share with you right now because it is currently autumn, so we can't currently do this one. I can't really show you this one, but I can go ahead and explain it to you. And this one essentially is the most clovers collected within 10 minutes. 10 minutes is about one single day in Ponytown, so this could be very simple for you to time in Ponytown itself, but I would recommend getting a timer if you wanted to do this one, and I would do it if I was trying to make sure you're actually getting it right and stuff like that. But essentially, you set a timer for 10 minutes, you go around the map collecting as many clovers as possible. By the way, you will start by doing /clovers so that they can make sure they have exactly how many you started with. My chat message is disabled, so I can't show you, but essentially you would use the clovers command to show how many clovers you have, and then they would write that down, and then once you went around and collected some and then came back, that would be how they knew. And of course, if someone gives you a clover, it doesn't add to your counter, your clover counter, I mean, so you couldn't cheat in that way or anything like that, and there's no real way to cheat doing this. So overall, I think this one would be a really good idea for records. In addition, you could do something similar with the pearls, where it's like the most pearls found within like 10 minutes, 20 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure which one to do for that one, but it would be cool nonetheless. As well, it would also be cool if there was just simply just a record in general for the highest amount of clovers ever collected and the highest amount of pearls ever collected. So like, again, oh, hey, there's a pearl there. Cool. That's awesome. But anyway, that was very convenient. But anyway, essentially, if I had the most pearls, I can be like, oh, I have the most pearls. Oh, yeah, well, prove it. And then you try and prove it, and then you do the command to show that you had the most pearls or whatever that number is written down. And if you did indeed have the most, then you become the new record holder. It's not really something about, collecting the most or doing this the most. It's just whoever just happens to have the most clovers at any given time. So, or pearls or whatever else. So that's kind of a bonus one in addition to the, find the most amount of clovers within 10 minutes sort of thing. So have fun with those, and let's move on to the next one. This next one takes us all the way to this little area of the map known by me and some of my fans as the gay pool. This gay pool would be the place of another record in Ponytown. Essentially, the record would be the most people in the gay pool at any given time. So let's say we had 30 people in here, then that would make that particular record attempt at 30. So basically just get as many people as you can in the gay pool, and that is your record attempt. There's not really much else to explain. Whoever can get the most people organized to get inside the gay pool at once. It's extremely simple. I think, honestly, the most we've ever gotten was something like 30 to 50 or something like that. We did it during the line event, which the line itself would be a whole another record layer where it's like, oh, the most ponies lined up in any given time. That should be a record as well, but I don't exactly know how many people were in that. I guess I could count it or something like that in the screenshot we had, but that's besides the point. The biggest line possible, that would also be a record, and of course, most people inside the gay pool at any time. You have to actually physically be in it, by the way. You can't just be floating on the water like this person is here right here. You all have to be in there at any given time, and there's no real penalty for being stacked or anything like that, as long as no one is floating like this character or anything. So this next one would have multiple categories for each season, such as summer, spring, winter, and autumn, and things like that. The reason why is because the Party Island itself, the default Party Island, does change per season, such as right now it is currently autumn, so there is just random pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and things like that everywhere. Also, this one is not on for some reason. I don't know if that's a bug or if that was intentional, but it is the case. But anyway, the point is there'd be multiple categories for this, because this next little record challenge thing here would be to clear the island as fast as possible without using commands. So essentially the way this would start is you wouldn't start on the island. You wouldn't start on the island at all. You would start right here on the docks, and the person that is, hosting it or whatever, attempt the record, would start the timer, then immediately go onto the boat, teleport onto the boat, and then start deleting absolutely everything they possibly could, including that little jack-o'-lantern there. If you are during autumn and everything like that, the little jack-o'-lantern has to be deleted. And you just go on here and you start deleting absolutely everything that's deletable. You can't obviously delete the party boat itself, so you don't delete that, but you delete everything that you see on the island, including these tiny little rocks, which is where the actual big part of the challenge is, because they're a lot harder to click and everything like that. And yeah, basically that is the entire thing. You also have to get the actual saw tool out and remove these fences right here. So I would have to eventually, after I do all of that, switch to this, find the fence in this, and then remove it from the island. And as soon as I do that, everything has to be deleted. Literally everything. You have to clear it. It has to be the same as it would be if you use the /clear command, essentially. And just keep going through here and delete everything. Whoever had the fastest possible time, of course, would be the record holder. Obviously, I am not super fast at this, but there is multiple ways to go about doing this. There is, obviously you can zoom all the way out if you wanted to and just try that attempt, but of course, doing that makes it a little bit harder to click on the rocks because they're very tiny, and perhaps you'll miss one or something like that. So yeah, have fun with this one. This one would honestly be one of the funnest ones to attempt, I think, in my opinion, is this one and the first one that I shared, the torch one. I think with those would be the most fun. But that does bring me to another question, or not another question, but a question you may be asking yourselves: am I allowed to attempt any of these records on my party island? And no, this would be the only one that you're allowed to attempt on your party island. The reason why is because on your party island you can just spawn a bunch of like random things, like a bunch of torches in a row or something like that for the torch challenge, for example, or maybe you could spawn different things like that can help you in different ones. So you wouldn't be able to use the party island for any of these world records other than the world record that involves the island itself. So keep that in mind, and let's move on to this last one. This next one is a little bit goofy, I will admit, but it is interesting nonetheless. This one is simply eating the most edible items within a minute, or 3 minutes, or maybe 5 minutes. I'm not really sure what the timer should be on this one, but basically eating the most edible items in a row. You could go up to a fruit box and eat that one, and then, you know, eat it. The game physically would not let me eat an apple. That's how much it knows that I don't like apples. But anyway, essentially you'd go in there, you would try and eat as many different edible items. It doesn't have to be the fruit box. If you think you can go to, like, you know, an area over here or something like that, and, you know, pick up, like, what do we got here? We could, like, if you think you can pick up this mushroom and eat it faster, then you could pick up out of that, and then quickly pick up this berry here, and then maybe eat that one, and then maybe these grapes, of course, because those would be different items and stuff like that. The grapes are so hard to get, I think. Anyway, basically that would be a record attempt, and those all three were technically different edible items, so they all technically count towards the record. That record in that case would have been 3. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. I do hope that you enjoyed. I do hope that, you know, you liked the idea of Ponytown Records and everything like that. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and do all of those wonderful things. Because when you do those wonderful things, get access to wonderful content such as this. But that's not all you get. That's not all you get. You also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.